All right. Hello there. Welcome to Crusader Kings 2. My name is Badger. I'm going to attempt to be uh, walking you through some kind of tutorial. I'm just doing a little bit of some checking because I did some checking before, and unfortunately, my first run had some technical difficulties. I didn't realize leave it to me to get everything correct on the first try. I realized I couldn't be heard at all. That's why they call me First Take Badger. I get everything right first try. I think everything's fine. Look, I do apologize if I have any technical difficulties. I really am trying my absolute best to get everything sorted. I'm doing all that I can do here. So yes, let me know if there are any issues. But yeah. Alright, it looks like everything's working. I'll just welcome to. Alright, we'll consider this a starting point for any video. Alright, first try, first take. Hello and welcome to Crusader Kings 2. My name is Badger and I'm going to do a little walkthrough for you. Crusader Kings 2 looks like a very big and complicated game, a lot to get your head around. Well, I'm going to try and do a little walkthrough for you and make it all a lot simpler. So, this is my second attempt, so to take Badger gets everything right first try. I'm going to do a walkthrough for you, and we're going to start. I like to do an early start, and I'm going to explain to you my decision here as we go through it. We're going to start as a tribal count in Ireland, and I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why this is a count in Ireland is a very easy start, and let me tell you why. Firstly, look at all these regions here. I'm going to put map mode. This map mode here, and I'll tell you about map modes in a minute, shows you all the different countries, all these different colors, independent countries. You can see here, some of them are very big. Look right here, Middle Francia, West Francia. The Umayyads have all of southern Spain. You have Asturias, and you have over here the Abbasids. Gee, they're big and scary. But the reason why you want to start as a count in Ireland, I find that's the best start for a new player. Look at how small all these territories are. Small, independent territories. So you're going to find that because all these territories are small, you're in a very stable area and everyone's very independent. So there's not a lot going on. You're going to find very little shifts in power, if any. You might have a couple of shifts in power, but like very minor. It's going to be a very stable region. For example, if you start here as King Aurelio of Asturias, well, he is a Catholic, and his neighbors are Sunni. So there's going to be a religious conflict there. Sunnis can immediately declare holy wars against him just by virtue of the fact that he's Catholic. So that would be a very difficult start. I know it says that it's not difficult, but as a matter of fact, it is. Just ignore this. This is wrong. Similarly, over here, these big kingdoms, if you wanted to start as like a count in one of these, like a small count here, well, gee, you're part of this big kingdom, well, two big kingdoms that are going to be in some sort of conflict with each other, and a whole lot is going on, and no spoilers, but I mean, if you know if you know even remotely about history, You might know that this guy goes on to become Charlemagne, and there's a whole Holy Roman Empire thing. Yeah, no spoilers about history. I'm really sorry if I'm spoiling history for you there. Um, yeah, so it might just be a bit too much complexity for you here. Another start that I personally like a lot, I do like being a Viking, but being a Viking is very difficult because you have all these independent kingdoms here, and you've got. I don't know if you're familiar with King Sigurd, maybe known for being one of the best Vikings ever in the sagas of history. Yeah, he's an absolute legend, and his son is Ragnar Lothbrok, also very famous. He probably is going to come and kick your ass. The King of Denmark is also probably going to come and kick your ass. Just there's a whole lot of warring going on. They're a lot more of a warlike people than the Irish, so it's a very fun start, but maybe a little bit more advanced. It's a high risk of you getting annihilated. And that goes for a lot of these little independent territories. Look, all these stats are certainly valid, but they're perhaps just a bit more advanced. And same sort of thing going on here in the Islamic empires too, as with the Charlemagne sort of starts. And as well, like when you get to the other religions too, they're often just a bit more complicated. Christianity, Catholicism, not to be Eurocentric, is very, very simple. There's very simple mechanics to wrap your head around. Um, uh, there's not much to worry about. So we're going to start in Ireland. It's by far the easiest start, and the reason I like to start tribal, the reason I love the 769 start, firstly it gives you the longest game possible, but also when you start tribal, you have access to raiding. Raiding is one of the absolute cheapest mechanics. It gives you access to so much money, so cheaply. Now, because you could start. This guy is probably the easiest guy to start as because has two counties, two very good counties, in fact, with lots of holding slots. You can't see the holding slots here, so he's a very good character to start as. And he also is a member of this house, the O'Neills, or One Neil. We'll just say O'Neills because that's who they are. And oh dear, there's quite a lot of them. And that's important. But for me, I like to start as a single count. I'm going to set myself a little bit more of a challenge. I'm going to be the only O'Neill who has only one county. And it's for the same reason that I said this guy's a good start. He's related to everyone. And that's good. We want to have a lot of relatives. Having a lot of relatives gives you a lot of claims. So I'm going to start as the weakest O'Neill. I want to start as one single count owner. And I'm going to use him to hopefully teach you a little bit about the mechanics of Crusader Kings 2. So yes, please let me know if you're having any issues watching the stream, any issues with sound quality, but I'm going to use this little beady-eyed motherfucker to teach you a little bit about CK2. Now, the start will be a little bit random. I don't know what his stats are going to be. He will start with a sun automatically. I don't know what his sun stats are going to be. So firstly, it'll tell you about the rules of the game. Now, if you're a new player, you don't want to worry about this too much. I'm going to start with Iron Man. You probably don't want to do that if you're a new player, but I will. About the rules, what rules do you want to worry about? Firstly, all DLC for CK2 is free, so just take all of it. It's free. Why not? Definitely turn off Sunset Invasion. You don't want to worry about Aztecs coming and invading you. I would leave on the Mongol invasion. It is historic. You can generate families if you want. That just makes it less likely that you're going to have a game over, but most of these semi-historical, ambiguously historical figures will start with a sun anyway, so you don't need to worry about that so much. You can set some of these settings. I like to set Chinese invasions to no major invasions. Again, it just makes life a bit easier. So that's probably a good thing for you. You can just turn it off so that there's like no invasions at all. But again, that'll disable Iron Man mode if that's something you're worried about. What's the other one that I'm looking for? I like to leave just most of these ones on. Sorry, there's a specific one that I'm looking for. I just can't remember where it is. I'm just making sure I don't miss it. Okay, court size limit. I like to leave this off. By default, it's turned on. Court size limit limits your court size. I think it's to about 50. I like to have a big court. There can be an advantage to turning court size limit on, where it can just give you free money. You can invite a whole bunch of people to your court and then kick them out, and then it just gives you their money. I like to have a big court. That's just me. I'm looking for cultural title names. Here. If you're a new player, you might want to turn cultural title names off because it can be very confusing for you. If you're very confused, if you don't know, like, what's the difference between a chief, a count, or an earl, they're all actually exactly the same thing. They're all just county level. That could be very confusing for you. I'm going to leave them on because I like the flavor. But if you're very confused about what's the difference between a count and an earl is just the English, Anglo-Saxon English, even to this day, an earl is the English word for a count. Count is the French word. That's where that comes from. Yeah, interesting historical fact for you. All right, I'm going to stick with this. All right, let's go. I did turn that back on. All right, cool. Iron Man, let's go. This could backfire on me that I'm picking this guy. You never know. You can just drop dead the second you start the game. Yeah, so again, let me know if I'm having any technical difficulties. Hopefully this will all work. Let's go. First take Badger, she says as she does her third game. All right. In Crusader Kings 2, you play as a succession of medieval rulers from a single dynasty. There is no set goal, but the world is filled with ambitious rivals. Secure more land to increase your power and protect your family. You cannot hold infinite amounts of land yourself. To expand, you will need to rely on vassal rulers. Keep them happy with titles and gifts, lest they decide to revolt. The game will end in 1452 if your line can stay in power that long. As a ruler, your first priority is to secure an heir. If you do not have a legitimate heir when your character dies, the game will end. Other pressing matters appear as alerts at the top of the screen. Crusader Kings 2 is a pausable, real-time game. This means you can issue commands both while the game is paused and while the clock is running. To pause or unpause the game, click the date in the upper right corner or press the spacebar. Use the plus and minus symbols to speed up time or slow it down. Crusader Kings 2 takes place on a fully 3D map. You can zoom in and out using your mouse scroll wheel. Holding the scroll wheel while moving the mouse lets you pan. You can always reset the map by pressing backspace. So, I'm playing as an Irish Catholic chief. So this gives me some certain options. So, Irish culture effects, I have access to the tenantry succession law. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to stick with, it's what's called gavel kind, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So, tribes. I'm tribal. Tribes are settled but agrarian. Each county can only have one tribal holding, representing the entire local tribal population. The more empty holding slots, the more powerful the tribal holding. So this is the good thing about tribes. So, tribes, you really want as many unoccupied holding slots as possible. That will just make it bigger. So, I'll show you what that means in just a moment. Tribal rulers are most often seen using the elective gavel-kind succession law, which tends to fragment the realm between sons on the death of the chief. So I can hold tribal and fort holdings without penalties. I can build temple, tribal, and fort holdings. Can use prestige to build tribal holdings. So yes, I can use prestige to build buildings. So prestige is here. This is gold. This is prestige. This is piety. This is the size of my domain or domain. Same thing. This is me. This is my realm size is 2. I don't know. Oh yes, because it's me and my bishop. So I can call my tribal government vassals to arms instead of using liege levies. So this is not important at the moment because I don't have any vassals. I'm just a single count. I do not get vassal tax from tribal government vassals. This will probably be explained later because at the moment I don't have vassals. Tribal dynasties may grow decadent if religion allows. My religion does not allow decadence. This is more of a Muslim thing, I believe. I can raid infidel neighbors for loot. I can raid anyone for loot, actually, as a matter of fact. De jure law effects are ignored. I can take up to 3 concubines. This is good if you want to make a lot of kids. But also, I can just get women into my realm just by making them concubines. It's kind of powerful that way. I can move capital within the same lifetime every 600 months. can't grant kingdoms and empires to characters with a government from a different group. Can reform to feudal, Icta, and merchant republic governments. Alright, so I'm also a Catholic, so I'm a tribal, but I'm Catholic. Irish, tribal, Catholic. Catholicism is one of the oldest branches of Christianity, and the one that has the biggest impact on the history of Europe. The formal head of the religion is the Bishop of Rome, the Pope. Catholic bishops may pay tax to the Pope rather than their secular liege. If they like the Pope more than me, they will pay the Pope taxes. So, it's not really that big of an issue, but you generally want your bishops to like you more than they like the Pope. Sometimes that's out of your hands. Catholic rulers can set up anti-popes. You don't need to worry about that right now. The Pope can excommunicate Catholic characters, popes can grant divorces, popes can grant the invasion casus belli, so they can give you an ability to declare war on people. Pope can grant claims on titles. This can be very useful. Pope can call for a crusade. Rulers can order adult unlanded courtiers to take the vows. There's always a Pope, landed or not. So you don't need to worry about all of this at the moment, but these are all things that the character I've chosen is potentially allowed to do. So it is day one. You get as many turns in the game, essentially, as there are days between the 1st of January, 769, and whatever the last day of the game is in, I think it's at 1452. You get a lot of turns. So there are some things that you should do, but we're going to, instead of me showing you what you can do on the first day, let's explain the game a little bit. This right here is my county. This right here is my holding. This is a holding. You see right here, I have 3 holding slots. This is my tribe. This is a bishopric, which is the second holding. You see right here, it said that my realm size is 2. It's my tribe and my bishopric. I do not own the bishopric. This here is my bishop. So he is my vassal, but he's a vassal who is so unimportant that he doesn't really count as like a vassal. So I just have a domain size. Once I get to a duke level, there's going to be another window that pops up here, and that will be the number of vassals that I can have. Bishoprics do not increase your vassal size unless the bishop is granted a county. You can do that. You can have a bishop own a county. You don't necessarily want to do that though, because sometimes you do want to do it for reasons, like if you're trying to set up someone to become an anti-pope, but that's very complicated, probably a few steps ahead, because generally speaking, you want people in your realm to be of the same government type as you, otherwise they like you less. But yes, this is this guy's my bishop. But this is my county. I have 3 holding slots. And remember what we said about the tribe population is determined by empty holding slots. So we want this holding to stay empty, because this empty holding slot is essentially, I suppose you could say, in the lore of the game, this is where a bunch of people are just like running around filling up, like it's unoccupied land, but it's actually filling up with people who are increasing the size of my tribe. So as like a lore thing, there's not like a building there, but it's still occupied with people who are making my tribe bigger. Now, so a domain is just the number of counties you hold. This is a county. That's a county. This guy owns 2 counties. You can show the size of realms, like the number of realms here. You can click on this map mode. It's the same thing as pressing W on your keyboard. I find that this isn't so useful with an Irish start because, geez, look at these colors. Tell me the difference between all these shades of green. It's not super duper obvious, is it? If you zoom out, it's a lot more obvious what all these different realms are, isn't it? Red, green. Over here, even between these 2 different flavors of France, very obvious what these different countries are. What? Let's zoom in properly. Go back here. It's not the world's most obvious thing. These are all these different map modes. Diplomatic relations. This shows you who I can declare war against. Yellow. So, this is only... It depends who you're selected. So I've selected this character who is myself. You can tell it's me because I've got a star. This is you. So everything highlighted in whoever's green shows you who you're currently selected and what I own. I only own this. Everything in yellow is what I can declare war against. So I'm going to just go back to W for a second here. Oh look, I can declare war against him. I can extort him as a tribute, but I don't want to do that right now. But let's go back to the diplomatic relations screen. What you want to be careful of with this screen, it can be a bit confusing. See, if I click this character, oh, suddenly I'm not showing you who I can declare war against. I'm showing you who this character can declare war against. So that's a bit confusing. This shows you religion. Everything, there you go. Catholic. Zoom out. Slavic, Germanic. That shows you religions. Zoom back in. Cultures. Zoom out. Irish. Economy. You can see my economy is not very good because I'm all tribal. Over here, this is England, more or less, and Wales. Their economy is better because they're already in a feudal society. This is Anglo-Saxon England is feudal, which means they have, I'm going to click on, let's say, Kent over here. They have castles and they have cities, so they're a lot more developed than I am. They make more money. De jure duchies. I'm going to explain what a duchy is in a moment. De jure kingdoms. Actually, I might explain what a duchy is in the right now. This might be a good time to do it. So, what is essentially the goal of Crusader Kings? Well, Crusader Kings doesn't actually have a set goal. There's no win condition. Your win condition is whatever you want it to be. Really, your only goal is to continue your dynasty. So, firstly, what's a dynasty? Well, a dynasty is represented by this little bloodline symbol. Dynasties are passed on mostly from fathers to sons, but they can be passed on through women matrilineally. This here is my son, so he is a member of my house. This is the dynasty of this character. So we are O'Neills. Who else is a member of my dynasty? Well, my neighbor right here, he's a member of my dynasty. Chief Conglach of Meath, he's a member of my dynasty. And Chief Donacant of Westmeath, he's a member of my dynasty. And I could click on my little shield here and show you right here. Actually, sorry, I'll click on my character to do it. There you go. You can click on this little family tree here, show you all the people that we're related to. There we go. That's what I was looking for. It goes back quite a long way. See, the O'Neills are a very real family in Ireland who continue to this day. Very important and influential family. And yeah, so we're related to a lot of people. You don't necessarily need to worry about exploring the family tree. But yes, essentially your goal is to continue to have members of your family who can inherit your titles. Thank you very much. I just had a little alert there. Thank you very much. Hi. Much appreciated. Thank you, CKII. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Hi. Sorry. Yeah, so your goal is to have people who can, in your family, who can continue to inherit, who can continue to inherit titles and land. So let me show you how you can see that. Well, right here, my son is currently my heir. I've got my cousin, who's the next in line, and Ikade, who I believe is my cousin's son. Yep, good guess. I've got Chief Donacad of Westmead. I've got Chief Niall of Hero Game, and Chief Conglad of Meath, who I've already shown you. There you go. Good times, good times, good times. Good. Now, this is very important. This is why I chose this character as such a good person to start with, because he has a lot of relatives. And having all these relatives gives you a lot of room to maneuver. Because if you look over here, oh dear, I'm second in line for this. Chief Domhnall. Yeah, that's me. Same person. What about Meath over here? Now he's got a son, but oh wow, I'm third in line. Oh, and over here, Westmead, third in line. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I've got quite a lot of paths to increasing my land. Now, let's actually have a look at my character, who I haven't had a look at yet. Now, I've come into the game with some pretty shit stats. That's not good. What about my son? My son is fussy and playful. He's not necessarily going to be the best son in the world, but he could become... Yeah, it's not the worst. I'm probably gonna set his education. Actually, I'll do that in a minute. I won't get off topic. Now, I am very close to being in line for his throne after his son, so I can plot to kill my family member over here. Is there anyone who will assist me in killing him at this point in time? Probably not. But what I can do, I could plot to kill his son. See if anyone will help me do that. Is anyone willing to help me kill his son? He is. I'm going to see who I can potentially plot to kill. There is a couple of options here. I'm going to walk you through all of them. I'm going to see if there's anyone who's like just a very easy target. If there's not, don't worry, there are options. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what all the options are. Okay, he's currently the best option because this guy hates him so much that he has an 83. He's going to increase my odds of killing him by 83%. This is good. That's going to give me very high odds of killing him. Now, admittedly, when he dies, his territory is going to go straight to him, not to me. But that's fine. That's not a problem. Consolidating power in the hands of your enemies initially may seem like a bad thing, but that's fine. So what's my other option? I can antagonize him, and I can fabricate a claim. I can get a claim on him, and in this case, by fabricating a claim on him, this is going to help me set my ambition. Oh, sorry, not my ambition, my focus. And the focus will be duel, because if I set this war focus, this gives me the option to duel people who are my enemies. So if I duel my enemies, I can kill people who I dislike or who I have claims on. This is really good, and it also increases my personal combat skill. This guy, look at him, he's not a good fighter. So if I can get a claim on him or make him really hate me, then I can take his country from him. Because that's just how you do. That's just a thing that can happen. It's medieval times. What you gonna do? Let's just do it. So there we go. So this is the strat. This is how we're trying to play the game, and this is why I started to play with this character. We are going to try and make this guy hate us enough that we can duel him and kill him and take his country, and we're going to try and kill these guys and any children they may have, and take their land from them that way. That's the game. Something else I would like to try and do. You don't have to do this. This is just how I like to play the game. I like to invite people to my court. There's one guy, my uncle, who is assisting me in the plot. I need to be careful not to invite him. Actually, is he in Westmead? He might be able to assist me in this plot, actually. I've got this plot going on. I should see if there's anyone else who I can get to assist me in this plot. Who can I get to like me enough? to want to help me kill him. I've got a couple of options here. You. We're best friends. So I see, I clicked the option sway here, and this is the logic here. You can see here, he's amoral. He already doesn't like Donatello that much. He already kind of likes me. It's actually very close. I could almost just send him a gift, probably, and get him to like me enough to do it. We'll think about sending him a gift. Actually, I might end up inviting my cousin over here over. He likes the chief a lot, so we'll think about it. Alright, but anyway, I'm going to invite characters. I just need to be careful not to invite my uncle because he's integral to my plot to kill. It's okay, he's not an option. This is just how I like to play the game. I like to have a big court, because if you have a big court, you have a lot of options for counselors. That's really what it is. You have good options to fill your court with counselors. I need to make sure that I'm not inviting this guy to my court. But I don't think he's an option, which is good. This will just take a minute. Sorry that this is boring, this is just how I like to play the game. This is good. See, she is a genius. She is homosexual, which decreases her chances of having children, but a genius trait is a trait that can be passed on to children. So this is why it's good to try and invite people to your court. She could potentially have some genius children. This is something as well. This guy, if I click on him, he actually has a bloodline as well. There is an achievement in the game for having 5 bloodlines on a single character. I've already got that achievement, and it may not be something you want to go through in the first playthrough, but it's a very fun achievement to try and get. So it does involve a lot of selective breeding, a lot of matrilineal marriages. But yes, if you can get like 5 bloodlines on one character, you will want to make sure that you get people with bloodlines, invite them to your court, and make sure that they have children, because bloodlines can die out if you don't sort of watch out for them. Again, this is not something you have to do. I just personally like to have a big court. You probably don't need to worry about this at all if this is your first time playing. I just like to have a big court. I like to have characters with good stats. And speaking of characters with good stats, there is a character who I know exists in this start who is probably the best possible wife you can get if she's available, if you're not worried about having a lot of kids, if you're just happy with the kid that you've got. I'm gonna see if she's willing to marry me. That'll be the next thing that I do. After I invite everyone over. Nearly done. Yeah, sorry, I know this is boring. Crusader Kings can be a bit slow. Again, please let me know if there are any issues with sound or things not working, technical difficulties. Again, first take Badger, everything works perfectly the first time. Yeah, because this guy has a bloodline symbol. He's related to me. He's my cousin. Yeah, he wasn't willing to help me in the plot, so I'm quite happy to invite him over. And he is actually, I think, the second in line to my title, so I'm quite happy to have him here as my backup in case my son dies. It's great. I actually really don't need to worry too much about having kids, so that's another good protection of starting as an O'Neill. you're really not at risk of an early game over. That's why an O'Neill is a great start as a first-time character. You are just not going to have an early game over. You have so many backup characters. This is the thing about Crusader Kings 2. You do not have a game over just because your character dies. Your character will die many, many times. You have a game over if you have no family left that is of your dynasty, or dynasty, however you want to say it. And the O'Neills are a very big dynasty. They're a very old dynasty in Ireland, a historic dynasty. So they do not need to worry about running out of family. Alright, there we go. This is the last group of people, I think. And once everyone comes here, I'm going to see who are the best counselors. And I'm also going to start marrying people off. And this is what I like to call my Irish breeding program. And I'm going to show you how you can make sure everyone is the same culture as you. Alright, sorry for that little detour. This is just how I personally like to play the game. Now, I told you I was going to show you who I think is personally the best wife in the game for an early start. Now, hello, Carolaman and Charlemagne. This is their mother. Oh boy, would you look at that really high intrigue. She's actually started with some pretty bad stats compared to how she usually starts, but that Spy Master skill. Is she willing to marry me? She sometimes isn't. She's willing to marry me. I will take it. This is going to be a big boost to me trying to kill off all my family members. So that's great. I'm not worried about having children because I've already got a son. Speaking of, I should probably get him married too. Now, who he marries is really not that important. I can also change my mind about who he marries. He doesn't have so many options. Often, the other wives who are available early in-game are the daughters of the Lombardies. Not her, she's already married, but her, and not her, she's already married. These three, the middle ones. Sometimes they have alright stats, not always. She's probably got the best stats. They're not interested in me at the moment. I think I'm too unimportant. But they're usually a good go early on. Sometimes as well, I think she's sometimes an option. She's not really interested in me at the moment, is she? No. Look, I don't necessarily have to worry about him, but might as well. I can set his education trait. Now, he's already kind of got some traits. If he had some options, I usually like to make my son into a good commander. There are some risks to that, but look, I'm not a good educator. I think I'm going to set him for conscientious and see if I can make him a good steward. I do like, as a preference, I like to try and go for sainthood, and I'm going to see if I can do a guide on that with either my first or second character, see if I can go for sainthood. But in any event, let's stick with this being a beginner's guide. So we know what the goal is. We're trying to make this guy hate us or get a claim on him so that we can duel him. We're trying to murder him and then him and get them out of the way. So that's the goal there. We've gotten married. We've sent out an invitation for marriage. We've done that. What's the next thing? The next thing should be our ambition. Well, there's one free ambition that you get as a Christian at the beginning of the game. You should always do this. Click build a war chest. Just always do this 100% of the time. And then borrow from Jewish merchants. So what was my ambition? It was to have a war chest of 300 gold if ruling a county. Oh gee, well look at that. I have 300 gold. That's just a free thing. You have it. You just get that for free. You get a free ambition fulfilled 100% of the time. It'll fire as having been completed when I advance to the next day. So just do this 100% of the time. always, and it just gives you some better taxes. All right, the next thing we should do, you'll note we haven't advanced to the next day yet. These are all the things that you can do just on the first day. The next thing I'm going to do, I can't set any laws yet because I'm not very advanced. I'm just a tribal person. We don't have very advanced laws. Next thing I'm probably going to do, I don't have... Oh, he'd actually be a pretty good regent, but I'm going to wait until I see if I have better counselors. I could set him as my court physician. He's got quite good stats. I think I will do that. I think he's a good court physician. He's my bishop, so I do want him to like me. He doesn't like me because I just borrowed gold from Jewish merchants. Catholics don't like when you do that. Go figure. I'm going to set my son as my cupbearer. This gives him some prestige and an income. Gives him a job. Now, court tutor. I did say I was going to teach you how to make sure that any children who are born in your realm become Irish. Unfortunately, I don't have any people coming into my realm right now who are Irish with a 4-star education, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that. Any Irish people in my realm with a 4-star education will be court tutors. I'm going to leave these open because the people who are currently my counselors may not be my counselors in just a few minutes. And I'm going to leave her available as a marriage option once I have some better people coming into my realm. I think with all that, I might be ready to click and advance to the next day. Oh, actually, I'm going to assign my counselors to do things. I haven't done that yet. So because I'm tribal, I'm not currently getting any technology. See, look at that. I'm not learning anything about the military. I'm not learning anything about the economy. I'm not learning anything about culture. I'm just a tribal person. See, well, look, we just live in huts. So the only way you can really get any technology at this early stage in the game until you become a duke is to steal it from people. Generally speaking, the best counties to steal technology from are Rome and Constantinople. There is a risk that your spy master can get caught, but and imprisoned. To me, it doesn't happen all that often, but it can happen. Now, I could send my spy master to help murder my family member over here, but the boost to doing that is fairly small, so I don't tend to worry about doing that. I would rather have them study technology. It's such a boost when you get the extra points that I'd rather they do that. I've got my Chancellor fabricating claims. The best thing for your Marshal to do, I don't have a very large military, so I could send him to increase the size of my military, but I'd rather have him train troops and find better commanders, because then I can have a better Marshal. That's probably the best thing he can do at this point. Having good commanders is a real boost. It can make your military more effective. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you. My court chaplain, he's currently in apostates, which increases my piety. Thank you. Thank you. I am going to go for sainthood, so piety is very good. Thank you. Much appreciated. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the follows. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Steward, I could send him to oversee construction, but sometimes that backfires. It's not the best thing to do. Just improving the domain is often sometimes just the best thing to do. So I often don't mess with the steward too much. In any event, I'm going to be replacing him fairly soon, I get the feeling. Alright, with that, I think I'm finally ready to advance to the next day. I'm just going to leave it on regular speed for the moment because I am doing a bit of a walkthrough here. And with that, I'm going to click pause again. So there we go. I've already fulfilled my first ambition, and that gave me a little bit of a boost to taxes. Here you go. National tax modifier plus 10%, so I'm going to be earning a bit more gold. Now, what should be my next ambition? I think I'd like to make a friend. One thing I do think is always a good thing to do is join a society. Now, I think the best society for me to join is the Benedictine Order because I've got high stewardship. Now, it does cost you a little bit to join an order, but it does have some benefits, and in particular, it has benefits. Look, I'm not currently educating my son, but It has really good benefits for if you are a guardian to your children and you're educating him personally. And it allows you to bestow good personality traits onto it. Firstly, you get good personality traits yourself. You just naturally start accruing them. But also, you can actually teach your children to become better people. And people like you more. I do think it's a good thing to do. With the gold that I've accrued, I'm also going to start making my little county better. And I also mentioned that one thing you get to do if you are a very small tribal thing, one reason why it's better to be a tribe than other things is you get to raid. So I can raid my neighbor over here. He is a... Oh, worrying reports have reached you regarding your Marshal Flabetzuk. I cannot pronounce that name. I'm so sorry. It seems he has been using your soldiers to extort money from the peasantry in Tirtranel. He has forfeited his office. Don't want him to do that. I can imprison him. Actually, I think what I'm going to get him to do, might get him to assemble a mercenary company. I could do that, or I could imprison him. Actually, might see if I can appoint another marshal first. See if that increases my odds of arresting him. Can I... Ah, no. No, he got away with the money. Oh well, never mind. Will you come back? No. Never mind. Well, things don't always go your way. Alright, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my marshal being a horrible person. When you raid your neighbors, I've got a very small army, which means I actually won't be able to besiege this holding very well at all. He's got a levy and a garrison size of about nearly 700 people. My army is tiny, but because he's only a single county count, or chief in this case, same thing, he won't be able to raise his army while I'm there. He can't raise his army while I'm occupying it. So, he can't attack me. I can just occupy it. He's basically defenseless. Good times. So I can just sit there and gain money. Everyone is joining me. Here we go. Oh, good. My wife is here. Queen Mother Bertrada and Chief Domhnall are getting married. We can collect a royal aid duty to pay for the ceremonies. It's everyone's concern. Everyone who I invited to my court is currently joining my court. I'm going to go through them to see who the best councils are once they're all here. Usually the notifications will stop around the 17th of January in my experience. So don't worry, I'm just clicking them. You don't have to do this. This is just what I like to do. And then I'm going to marry them all off and do my little breeding program of good courtiers. This is just my personal style. I'm going to pause here. So, see what I was saying before? This is exactly it. See, I'm sitting here. He's actually got more troops than I do, but he can't use them because I'm sitting on top of him. He can't raise troops. So I can just sit here and rob him. And there's nothing he can do about it. It sucks to be you, Kernak. Don't you hate it? So I can just earn a little bit of money. I might not have so much luck with my neighbor because he's got 2 counties, but maybe I will. Depends. Oh, I can actually do it because his levy's not that big. Over in Argyle, I can do that. Actually, some things that I can do. I can do some other things. I can buy indulgence for my sins. I can get the Pope to like me more. I'll do that. I can search for a smith. I can get a weaponsmith because I'm going to be trying to duel some people. I'm just going to wait one more day to see if anyone else is coming. Anyone else? Alright, I think that's everyone. Right, now I can see who the best councillors are. He's the best councillor. He's the best marshal. And man, I kind of wish I hadn't gotten rid of that marshal. He's the best steward. How's my plot to kill going? Does anyone else like me? He likes me. Yeah. Well, you sure would like to help me kill my family members, eh? Yeah. Actually, I should see if anyone else wants to join my court, because I could really use a marshal who doesn't suck. I don't want him to join me because he's essential to my plot to kill my family. Spymaster. I don't want my wife to stop assisting me, because then I won't get any additional bonuses. She gives me a bonus just by being my wife, and so then I don't get any additional bonuses from her being my Spymaster. I just invited a guy with 20 learning, so I'm gonna leave my court chaplain as it is for the moment. Designated regent will be my steward with his... Oh, yes, it's my cousin. Excellent. Now, who is Irish with some really good learning skills? Have we got any Irish people with 4-star educations to be court tutors? I just need one. Just need one. If I can't find one right away, I don't need to worry about it because we haven't got any children. And once I start conquering more territory and getting more people will want to join me, and then I can assign a court tutor later. I'm gonna make my bishop my my high almoner. Speaking of which, I should probably assign... Yep, I'm perfectly happy for him to be his heir. I'll keep going for these minor titles. Master of the Horse. Probably a good idea for my Spy Master to like me. Where's my Spy Master? There you go. People don't like me. I'm not very popular. Actually, now is probably a good time to start marrying people off. Now, this guy right here is my cousin, but he's a member of a really important house, so I probably don't need to marry him off to people in my realm. I can probably get people from far and wide wanting to marry him. So, speaking of, so people from great houses, like this guy with his bloodline, and my cousin over here. Yeah, see look, people want to marry him, including, she's a Carling, actually. So who would be a good choice to marry him? She's getting a bit old, but she's got good stats. I'm gonna marry him into the Carling family. You there, you're a bit old, she's a bit old, why don't you be a bit old together? Again, I want these bloodlines to survive. I think they're important. There we go. It's a good start. Who else have we got? Alright, now I can probably start marrying off people within my realm. Just bearing in mind the 3 people who I've married off already. There you go. You're a genius. And she's from a big important house, so I probably want to marry her off to someone who's also from a big important house. Ideally someone Irish, because that means I don't have to worry about their children being Irish. They just will be. So why don't you marry an O'Brien? It really doesn't matter who I marry off. It's not the end of the world. You're my spy master. I'd like you to be married. Oh look, the Princess of Lombardy will marry you. Yeah, apparently that's fine. You don't have to marry off people in houses first. You can just marry them off based on stats. Sometimes marrying off people in houses is good because it can give you claims. And you don't have to worry about this if this is your first playthrough. This is just what I like to do. I like to have what I like to call a bit of a breeding program going on. Actually, speaking of which, I will set a court tutor just so that I can educate the children who have come here already to be Irish. She's too old to be educated to have her culture changed, but I can still decide her education. Now, setting like everyone's culture to be the same isn't that important. It does just create more like cohesion and stability. It's not really the end of the world to have everyone the same like religion and culture. It also just does give you more options for people to tutor your own children in the future. So, for example, it does have a little bit of a penalty if your heir is educated in a foreign culture, but like it's really minor, really, really minor. It's not that important. Right, I'm gonna keep marrying some people off. Um, Dynasty. I've already married you off. Sure, why not? This is just my little breeding program. I just like to play the game this way. It means I don't have to worry about finding courtiers as much later on. It's really not that important. I'm just going to do this quickly and get it out of the way. I don't want to slow you down too much. Some of these people are already married, aren't they? Alright, now I can worry about people with good stats. To the extent that people do have good stats. I'm just going to pause for a second and let these marriages go through. Who is she willing to marry? Alright, he's going to be my new court chaplain. That's who I was waiting for. And you can get married while you're here. There you go. The Holy Father has granted us absolution. That was because I bought indulgence for my sins. So I've gained some piety. Piety is like very slow to accrue. Your wisdom and mercy are legendary. There you go. So Princess of Lombardy is now willing to come to my court. Are any of the others willing to come? Anyone else? Nope. Okay, yes, my plot is coming together. Does anyone else? Who am I swaying? Him. I can probably speed up the game a bit now. I'm far enough in. With my illustrious education in all affairs of state and diplomacy, I should have no trouble finding the right way to endear myself to Anne Luan. There you go. Great. Burn the apostate. This guy. Court chaplain, Aphagus, bursts into your tent, flanked by several warriors dragging Mergle Mac Intrektek with them in chains. My chief, there are many concerned peasants claiming that their children are plagued by nightmares of this man. He's obviously a warlock. What should be done with him? You gotta burn him. Get that piety. Yeah, look, he's not important. He's not important. My words achieved the expected result, and Alan responded to my appeal for unity by telling me that he's in complete agreement with me and wishes only for us to be on good terms with each other. Great, but do you like me enough to help me murder my family members? Not yet. Well then, what good are you? Yeah, piety is very slow to accrue, and since I'm trying to go for sainthood, not necessarily with this character, but either with me or my son, you really gotta let it accrue. There you go, my marshal art girl O'Brien has told me about a remarkable weaponsmith residing in Brayfon. Actually, speaking of which, I might want to change marshals in a second. He suggested that I invite the man to my court to see his work for myself. If he manages to impress me, I could order my own custom-made item. Now, this guy, he's greedy, but he's not deceitful. I'm going to take the risk. Sometimes the weaponsmith will run off with your money, but I'm going to trust this guy. I'm gonna hope. Look, I've got money to spend. Look at that. There we go. I finished raiding. When your thing goes here, it means you're not able to loot anymore. See, I don't have enough troops to burn down the village, so I'm gonna go over to the next guy. Once the weaponsmith's craftsmanship had been checked by most knowledgeable attendants to ensure the quality was sufficient, I received him in the throne room. He introduced himself as Master Senshin and gestured towards his numerous assistants who all carried examples of his work. Does my chief have anything special in mind? Now, here are the options. You can never go wrong with a good sword, which gives a bonus to light infantry and heavy foot troops. A lance is what I desire. I've always been one for axes. I will crush my enemies with a mace. Now, as a tribal person, you don't have a very complex military. It's mostly light infantry. There's some like heavy infantry. As you can see here, you can literally see the makeup right there. I also think that as flavor, a sword is most appropriate for Ireland. An axe is probably better flavor if you're a Norseman. I'd say let's go for a good sword. I'm going to be leading those troops. A sword, I see. An excellent choice, my chief, says Master Sentient, and calls forward an assistant cradling several swords in his arms. I have a couple of examples here. One must determine what one needs, I assume, and how much one is willing to pay, although they would all serve your highness well. Craft me something of high quality that I can bring with me to combat. There you go, so I'll spend 50 gold on a new sword. That's exactly what I need. Now, please don't run away with my money, sir. Alright, I'm really hoping this plot will fire. And then once this fires, he will die, and all his land will go over here. Oh, he just got married. Did you see that? He just got married. So hopefully he won't have a child. Chief Nile is an indolent, pathetic creature, unwilling to perform the simplest task or take the smallest responsibility. I should denounce his slothful attitude so that all can see it. Oh yeah, let me tell you what my goals are. He's a most disgraceful chief. So we're insulting my guy right here. So here are the goals. We're trying to insult my relative here and get him to hate me. We're also trying to fabricate a claim on it. I want to duel him so that we can take over his realm here. And we're also trying to assassinate him. Oh, Kongolak died as well. So that's one less obstacle in our way. Because then we're trying to take out these two guys here. They're both obstacles in our way so that we can take over Meath. We've started as this guy here, the chief of Tier Chanail. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. He's a great guy to start with, and I've started as a single county count. And we're going to eliminate all the O'Neills one way or another and take over all this. He's such a great character to start with, and this is like a really good introductory character, I think, if you're very new to CK2. If you're like very new, you could also start over here. For me, he's probably a stronger start. But same basic gameplay, same basic approach. Just kill off all your relatives one way or another, and yeah, just start working your way through all your family, and eventually, you will start on the path to becoming King of Ireland. All right. CK2, it can be a little bit slow. Sometimes it's a bit of a matter of luck, especially firing the claim. But we're still very early on. We've just passed the 6-month mark in the game. Speaking of, sorry for eating on stream, but it's lunchtime. Might be a good time to hold a summer fair. These are some events that you can do. I've given the order that a summer fair should be held in Tir Tranel this summer. This should make the peasants happy. Master Sentren's main assistant has finally brought me this finished sword I have been waiting for. It is a beautiful and elegant sword, and I'm excited to see it goes beyond my original expectations. Alright, let's have a look at this sword. He didn't run off with the money. So if you want to see what items you own, here you go. I've got a sword of Tir Tranel. It's a quality 1 sword. Light infantry plus 5%, monthly prestige plus 0.25. Martial plus 1, personal combat skill plus 5. That's going to really help me when I start dueling this guy. My raiding has finished. I can bring my troops back. I'd invited a monkey trainer to the summer fair, and the performance went well until one of the monkeys refused to ride on top of a pig. The trainer beat the monkey with a stick, which led the other monkeys to attack the trainer, biting him and hitting him with their own stick. Shouldn't someone do something? Save that poor man? Here's your money, I don't ever want to see you again. Sure. Part of the challenge and why I chose this character to start as a single camp, I only have a very small army. It creates a challenge. I can't just go around and conquering everyone. If I had a bigger army, I could do things probably like just like declare border wars. That's not as fun. This is a bit more of a strategic gameplay. It shows you a bit more the things you can do. If I'm like very fortunate, there are other things that open up. Like if he dies and everything goes to his son, then I can potentially request a claim and say, look, this child shouldn't be ruling this. I'm older. Pope, why don't you get involved? But we'll see if that becomes an option. The peddlers are loading their wares and the merchants are taking down their stalls. The jugglers, strolling players, and other entertainers are preparing to leave. Summer fair is over for this year. It was great fun while it lasted. I'm getting more prestigious. CK2, you can sometimes feel like, am I doing something wrong? Trust me, you're not. Sometimes it's a lot of hurry up and wait. I know my spy master just got old and died. Is there anyone better? Unfortunately, she's female, so she won't be able to be spy master, but I can still invite her over. She can still be part of the breeding program. I think I also just found an Irishman with a 4-star education to be my new court tutor. I did. Oh no, he hasn't got high enough learning, never mind. I'm an idiot. Never mind, he's my new court tutor. I take it back. Unfortunately, in order to be court tutor, you can't just be really good at one thing. You actually have to have a decent learning skill as well, which makes sense. You need to be able to read and write. People don't like me. I'm not popular. Probably because I have such low diplomacy. There we go. I've got a new child. New child in my realm. It's time for you to assimilate to Irish. That's how you do it. You set it to childhood focus, to heritage. Okay, there you go. I've just had a building finish construction. So what's the next thing I'd like to build? Well, I could focus on getting more income, but at the moment I actually want to increase the size of my army. So I'm going to focus on buildings that will help the size of my army and things like that. Because then I can raid and fight more effectively. Thank you for bearing with me while I eat. I apologize. It's lunchtime. Here we go. This is why I set my marshal to train troops. Because it makes them better, and then you end up with a better marshal than you currently have. Hey, why can't my commander be my marshal? He just said he had a 14. Never mind. Never mind, I'm not going to question that. I know why it is that way. Why aren't you studying technology? See if I can sway this guy to participate in my plot. Oh good, he died. Didn't even notice that. Let's see. What can I do? Who can I get to join this plot? He seems like a pretty popular guy. But this guy seems like his main problem is that he just doesn't like me very much. So maybe I can get him to join my cause. Oh dear. Sometimes swaying people backfires and you actually end up pissing them off more. So you gotta be careful sometimes. Chief Nile is clearly a slave to his own passion. It is only a matter of time before God rots his lustful limbs away. I should warn the people around him before he drags somebody else into perdition. He's a most disgraceful chief. Just as expected, Chief Nile is furious. The rumors I've spread about him have really gotten under his skin. After all, how else could he deny them in any good faith? Can I get this guy to hate me? Come on. Would I have better luck plotting to kill him? Maybe. She doesn't like him very much. Could also plot to kill his son. Here we go. There we go. Studying technology paid off. Now, I could focus on any of these things. Shipbuilding's not a bad thing. I think I'm just going to focus on construction generally. Oh no, I don't want to kill her. Bring out the branding iron. She's carrying a future generation of my family. Don't want to do that. Speaking of which, though, do I have any unmarried people in my court? I do. Should probably marry people off. Oh man, I had way more unmarried people than I thought. Hang on. I think I just forgot to go back and continue marrying people off after I gave up on it a minute ago. Doesn't matter, they're all still very young. There we go. Marrying people off. Alright, let's see if there's anyone here with like really good stats who I should be marrying off. The answer is probably not so much. Let's marry off the best diplomat and the best, I don't know, you. There we go, that's everyone. Hold a summer fair. This should make the peasants happy. Not another monkey trainer. Should really stop making monkeys right on top of pigs. Hello there, would you like to assimilate to Irish? Speaking of which, there anyone not yet assimilating to being Irish who is eligible to? Oh, it should help if they're in my realm. Good. Okay, because of my character focus, which is war, what is it good for? I'm becoming better at leading troops. So offense or defense, that is the question. I could become an aggressive leader, which makes me better at attacking people. Become a better defender. I think unyielding's the best because it has no negative. So I'm going to take that. Here we go. This is the first member of my dynasty born in the game. I'm going to assign him to try and become a soldier. That'd be good. Local nobles of Tiertrenail complain about too many peasants entering the summer fair. Tell them to accept the peasants. The bishop already doesn't like me. I really don't give a crap what he thinks. Look at him. Peddlers are loading their wares and the merchants are taking down their stalls. The jugglers, strolling players, and the other entertainers are preparing to leave. The summer fair is over for this year. There are a few monasteries close by where the lay members of the Benedictine order frequently convene. As such, it is expected that every so often I attend these meetings, and I spend a fair amount of time at these monasteries to get in touch with the monastic foundations of the order. Such period is about to start. I'll fulfill my duties as expected. They haven't put me on a mission yet, but this is just a thing that happens sometimes. Here we go. I've just been given a mission. God's blessing upon thee, Donatus Domnal. The hectic life of a ruler rarely allows for sufficient time for contemplation. I ask of you to seclude yourself and think about your life and your actions, a sort of penance for your sins. Alright, do penance it is. Today my seclusion begins, and I've selected a simple chamber in the village where I will spend most of my time during the coming months. Within those bare walls I shall do my prayers, read the Bible, and contemplate my life and my actions. I'm going to think about my life and think about my choices. God shall be my companion. Oh good, I've got more technology points. Was military points. I only had one option, so I selected it. Yeah, I'm actually not going to assassinate him. I think I'm better off assassinating him because I'm his direct heir. Fortunately, I don't think there's anyone who I can convince. Oh, you. But unfortunately, I'm in seclusion right now, so I can't talk to anyone. I've now been at the monastery for a few days, surrounded by others who share my passion for God, and yet I still find I miss having a friend. Oblatus Caserios and myself seem to be getting along quite well, though. Perhaps this could blossom into a true friendship if we did something together. I'm sure he would greatly enjoy discussing the Bible because he's a learned man. Sorry, I didn't realize that the chat window that I've put up is kind of blocking this whole area right here. I may, in future, when I do this, move the chat window to a different place. Or make it more transparent. You're not missing much except the picture of the character. You cannot make sense of this passage of the Bible. The words are archaic and the meaning deeply hidden by copious layers of symbolism. It would greatly benefit my spiritual development if I discovered the text's essence on my own, though at this point, perhaps I would be better off asking my court chaplain. I'm going to try and figure this out on my own. I'll probably fail because I'm kind of a dumbass. Yep, I failed to make sense of the passage. In my obstinacy, I refused to ask for help. Surely I, the chief, would know enough of the Bible to understand the meaning of this passage. Hour upon hour, I sat staring at the words, trying to make sense of them, but each interpretation I could think of felt lackluster and hollow. The wisdom of God is beyond my understanding. I failed to make sense of the passage. Cassarius truly enjoyed my suggestion, and we've become close friends. We regularly seek each other out during our free time. I'm starting to notice that it affects my focus on my monastic studies. Let's focus on my duties. That's why I'm here, after all. There you go. I made a friend. I fulfilled my ambition. And what ambitions are available to me now? I could become exalted among men or try and become king of Ireland. I'm not going to achieve either of these with this character. I don't know. Become king of Ireland. Why not? Let's go for ambition. Let's go for something ambitious. Why not? That neither of them are really going to have an impact on how I play the game with this character. Man, my counselor is just not having luck fabricating this claim. That's the thing about... Yeah. Sorry, my dude. You passed away. There's a lot of hurry up and wait in Crusader Kings. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's just that chancellors can either, like, be really quick at fabricating claims, or they can take forever. It's luck of the draw. Hopefully he hasn't been bribed to not fabricate a claim. There's no way of knowing if that's happened. If you ever think that might have happened, you can always just reset. You realize that to become a great fighter, you would need to get in better shape. There's a great path in the nearby woods that would be excellent for running. A group of robbers calling themselves the Bando Brothers have been brought before me. The long list of all their crimes does not put them in a good light. Who would care about some petty thieves? They will pay amercement. Perfect punishment. Perfect punishment. I no longer feel fear, I'm getting brave. Yeah, that's a good trait. If my marshal's going up, hopefully my military is getting stronger. Maybe I can start raiding again. I saw that Saint Benedict was a paragon of temperance, however I struggle to control my appetite. While doing penance, I'm supposed to eat very simple food in small portions, but I'm growing weary. I cannot concentrate when my stomach rumbles like this. After a little treat, I shall return to my duties with double focus. I waited until midnight. Oh, yes, I can finally appoint this guy as marshal. Yeah. I waited until midnight before I made my way to the kitchens. I found some of my favorite treats in one of the pantries. After many days on the most dreary of diets, they tasted like the most delicious food I'd ever eaten. My appetite is satisfied for now, and no one is the riser. That was exactly what I needed. Good for me. I'm just fixing up my commanders here. Good times. The steward's doing a good job. That's what I like to see. Maybe I should write a letter to this person to give it to her with my good intentions. Sure, why not? I'm not actually working on her at the moment, but I can't change because I'm in penance, so I can't change who my target is just yet. Sorry. Here we go. New children for the Irish assimilation program. Here we go. He's already Irish. Why don't you become curious and fussy? These are good education traits. Now, I'm not the world's biggest, foremost expert on education traits. Conscientious is really good because diligent or temperate are just great traits. The only problem with this is you only select one trait. The other two could be completely random. Curious and fussy are great. Shrewd is very good, and this generally works out for you becoming like a really good diplomat, or really good with being a good like spy master and good at the economy. Fussy's also generally pretty good, and even like the negative traits aren't that bad. Haughty and brooding, I think just is very good if you can get that, but haughty I think is really mainly only negative. You don't really want that. This is great if you want to become a commander, but the problem is some of the negative traits can really backfire on you. Like you can have a chance of becoming dull, uncouth. It's not the worst thing ever, but I often go with this a lot because it's good to have children be strong commanders, particularly early game. This might be the worst if you really want to like sabotage people. Maybe give them this. This is also good to sabotage people. Give them this because it means they won't oppose you. Give this to like your vassals' children. It's probably the best thing to do. This is good if you want people to be in your religion, be zealous. This is just to get them to be in your culture. I'm gonna make him curious and fussy. Why not? I have spent the entire day saying prayers in deep concentration during the first hours. I noticed nothing out of the ordinary, although at some point I lost track of time and entered a dreamlike state. There was nothing but the holy words passing through my lips, and they rang true as the sweetest music. God has shown me the light. It could take a couple of years for a claim to come through. Hopefully he'll hate me before then. It doesn't really matter. You just gotta be patient with Crusader Kings too. It is what it is. Actually, stuff built yet? Yes, stuff is built. I should have been paying more attention. You're playing for 700 years. It's not the end of the world if you miss a few seconds. God has shown me the light. I feel like throwing a feast. If I could be out of penance in time to throw a feast, that would be good. I would like to throw search for a smith as well. I can't believe it. That happened very quickly. Now I'm going to move him to fabricate claims in Meath for the exact same reason. I can duel him, but I need to be able to duel him. I can only duel him, I think, when I'm out of my yeah, I can only duel him once I'm out of my penance. I don't need to worry about sowing unrest in his realm. I can antagonize him once I'm out of seclusion. I can't believe that happened. Ugh. Thank God. There we go. I'm out of hiding. It's time. Strong claim duel. This is my personal combat skill. This is his. It is time for you to die. No, Mr. Nile, I expect you to die. This is good times. Good times. This has happened so. This has happened about as quickly as it can possibly happen. I'm so happy. And now I can work on inviting more people to the plot as well. Who was I going to persuade to like me? I think it was you. Because you already dislike him. Oh no, you. You know me. Oh no. Yeah, no, you. Let's fight. You brought your own death. There you go. So here we go. I've taken over his realm. Now, I haven't taken over his whole realm because I only had a claim to this territory. But now I can probably make a good case to the rest of his realm pretty easily. I could also plot to kill his son, actually. I can probably make an easier claim to kill his son, because he's very young. Yes, let's do it. Search for a smith. Hello, would you like to assimilate to Irish? Look, I'm becoming a better Christian, as I said about murdering my entire family. That's what I like to hear. Alright, who can I get to like me? Maybe you? Maybe you? Yeah. And the good thing is, because of the way I took over the country, I didn't lose any troops. And now I can raid a lot more effectively. So this gives me more options moving forward. There you go. A remarkable armor smith. Oh look, he's got very good qualities. He's less likely to run away with my money. So, because I have all these troops now, I can potentially take over countries, like, just through military action. Here's my son. Now, he didn't end up getting, I think, the qualities that I wanted him to get, but he could become a very good spy master. So, that might be the go for my son to be educated by someone with very good spy master skills. So, I'm going to educate you that way. Once the armorsmith's craftsmanship has been checked by my most eligible attendants, blah 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 blah. I think we read this exact same flavored text with the weaponsmith. Yeah, there you go. Craft me something of high quality that I can bring with me to combat. See, there we go. See, now because I have so many troops, it's bigger than the number of total numbers of the garrison troops and levy troops. I'm actually able to wear them down. I haven't got that many though. This number could go down. It could stop the siege, but hopefully it won't. Let me just explain the difference between levy and garrison. Levy is the army that you can raise to go around and attack people. Garrison stays and defends. It never leaves. It's always in the castle. Never leaves, ever. Unless, to the extent other than it just gets depleted. But you can never move these troops anywhere else. Irish assimilation program welcomes you. Hope you enjoy your new Irishness. raiding, I should specify. Why have I only been raiding neighboring counties? You can only raid countries that counties, I should say, counties that you share a direct border with, or you can raid by sea. But in order to do that, take into account that, particularly because I'm not a Viking, I'm not Norse, raising a ship does cost money. You'll earn more money more likely than you spend, but still, bear that in mind. With my illustrious education in all affairs of state and diplomacy, I should have no trouble finding the right way to endear myself to Con. Few thought-out words should bring him to my cause. Speaking of, let's see if I can increase the width of my territory, this new territory that I got under my control. I could increase the market village, I'm gonna focus on increasing troops at this stage, except here in my main town, because that's all I can increase. My words achieved the expected result. Con responded to my appeal for unity by telling me that he's in complete agreement. He wishes for us only to be in good terms with each other. Good, good, good. People are starting to like me more. That's what I want to say. Master Cannon's main assistant finally brought me the finished piece. I'm sure she'll serve me well. Here we go. So I've got chainmail armor. It's a quality 1 item. Monthly prestige plus 0.25 per month. Martial plus 1. Personal combat skill plus 5. Excellent. You're not long for this world either. Now if only I can hate you enough. Though I had thought Phelan to be a more reasonable man, his request to be allowed to duel his rival was slightly erratic. Phelan claimed to be constantly subject to affronts from his rival and asked for permission to defend his honor. I'll allow it. I'm a tribal person. I support, let's roleplay here, I support dueling. My hostile attitude towards Chief Flan has not gone unnoticed. He hates me more every day. That's what I want to see. Yes, let your hate flow through you. My dear cousin, I was just approached by Theodorus Neapolites, who tried to convince me to join him in his vile heresy. Hope you can convince him to see sense. I will engage him in a theological debate. My dear liege, your penetrating gaze can part even the thickest fog. I'm utterly convinced by your learned arguments. Rest assured I will never stray again. Good, I've converted him to Catholicism just by arguing with him. Rumour has it that your courtier, Robert, has now been influenced by his guardian's splendour. He's now considered properly Irish. So he was invited to my court. He's now been made Irish. There we go, Pope died. Pope Victor. Oh, wow, he's not a good Pope. He's got, well, for one thing, he's got syphilis. He's wrath, proud, slothful. He abandoned commoners. He's ill. Oh dear. Oh dear. Wow. Does he like me enough to give me a claim? No. Syphilitic popes, gotta love it. I've had cannibal popes before. Cannibal Pope would be a really good name for a band. I'm just saying. Cannibal Pope. No relation to Cannibal Corpse. A Jewish exile fleeing persecution elsewhere in Europe has showed up at your court. His time spent abroad has gifted him with many connections, and by all accounts he is an able diplomat. He would make a fine chancellor. Okay, Jewish exiles, they might be the one people you want to exclude from your Irish assimilation program, because they can be really, really, really good at giving you technology. And as you saw, he just had massive, massive diplomacy stats. He's great. He's a great counselor. I just immediately made him my new chancellor. Hopefully he gives me a claim on Meath right away. Yeah, Jewish counselors are just excellent. They're great for technology. You have this option here. to expel the jury. I mean, if you're playing in role-playing an evil character, I mean, sure, I mean, by all means, but I would say never do this because it absolutely sabotages technology in your realm. Just never do it. Oh yes, good. He likes me enough to help me murder a small child. Murder small child, please. How can I rely on my generals when their understanding of warfare is so lacking compared to my own? I could teach Art Gala a thing or two. Teach him to be unyielding. This place is going to become part of my realm soon. I actually may not want to attack it. Maybe I do. Art Girl gratefully accepted my lessons on the art of war. With generals like me, who could not learn well? Got a new marshal. I don't know what happened to the old one. I assume he just died. Setting educations. You don't actually have to worry about setting educations if you don't want to. I just like to. Otherwise, the education traits will be somewhat random. This icon, if you're wondering what that's been, that's that you can imprison people. She can be imprisoned because I branded her an apostate earlier. I had the option to kill her, but I didn't want to because she's married to my family member and she was pregnant at the time. Didn't want to kill her. While attending prayer one early morning, I noticed my brother Kainog drowsing off in his seat. I assume that means dozing off. Meanwhile, our fellow members of the Benedictine order are deep in their contemplation and do not seem to have noticed yet. I should wake him before anyone catches on. Good news, my co-conspirator Connors let me know that Chief Aide of Argyle will soon have a tragic fall off the castle parapets. Fly, little bird, fly. Think nothing of it, friend. Murder small child. Rip. God's blessing upon thee, Donatus Domino. The Benedictine order is in need of more funds to maintain charitable functions. We hope you're able to spare some of your worldly wealth. You know what? I will raid Argyle. I don't care that it'll be mine soon. Success! Unfortunately, my complicity was discovered. Well, I guess I won't be a saint with this character. My son will have to be. That's fine. Plot to kill. You gotta murder your family. This is the game. This is the game. Murder your family. And this is why I started with this character. There's a lot of paths to just, without, even though I had like a tiny army, my army when I started off was half the size. I could not wage war on anyone. I had no ability to wage war on anyone. I had I think the smallest army in Ireland. Did it matter? No. Crusader Kings is about so much more than that. Even with the smallest army, you can do so much. So this is a guide to how to take over Ireland with the smallest army in Ireland. This is how you can do it. My co-conspirator Ulkabar has managed to get one of their maids near Chief Fergal. For a princely sum, she agreed to solve our little problem for us. Fabulous. Rip. The Manichean faith triumphant. Adherents of the Zoroastrian faith have steadily dwindled to the point where Manichean believers are in the majority. The new state of affairs has reduced the Zoroastrian faith to a de facto heresy. All former Zoroastrian holy orders are now Manichean. The bickering of fools does not concern me. I'm Catholic. I do not care about Zoroastrians. I barely even know these other faiths exists. I'm over here, all the way in Ireland, almost as far west as you can go without going to Iceland. Oh, at the age of 2, my kinsman tragically died. Oh. What? Shame. Shame. See, success. Chief Fergal was smothered with a pillow by the maid we had bribed. She wasn't caught. No one has any reason to place any blame on me. This world is too cruel for children. Shame. What a horrible thing. He was so young. So young. Rip. And again, because of the way I took control, I have a full army and I can go raid this person next to me. And I also have the ability to create a duchy. I don't have enough money yet, I think. When I create a duchy, thank you for helping me murder a small child, Con. I'll never forget you. Thank you. You're truly a man of... Truly you were a son of God. Murdering small children. Did they want me to donate to charity? You know what, I will. I only did my duty. My wish to become a better Catholic after murdering 2 small children has led me to the rule of Saint Benedict. Since I joined the Benedictine order, I have practiced charity, yet it was not until today that I realized I was truly glad to let go of my personal possessions. Helping those in need is truly fulfilling. Yes, helping those in need depart this mortal coil. So I think I'm going to make my son the character I go for sainthood with after having committed murders with this character and been caught. Okay, so now that I've got these 3, I'm just going to explain something I'm going to do. Now that I have these 3 territories, this little icon popped up. I now own enough of the de jure duchy. I remember I said I would talk about this. This is now the point where I can talk about this. The de jure duchy of Ulster. So what is a duchy? A duchy is territories that form precisely that, a duchy. Duchy is owned by a duke. You'll notice right here it says this is de jure part of the Duchy of Ulster, which is de jure part of the Kingdom of Ireland. So the Duchy of Ulster doesn't exist yet. But because I own 75% of this duchy, this de jure duchy, I own enough of it that I could declare myself and say, you know what? I am de jure Duke of Ulster, because I'm tribal, and I left the cultural title names and all that on, I could say I'm actually, they call themselves petty kings at a tribal level, but it's really a duke. I'm the Duke of Ulster, I'm the petty king of Ulster, and I'd say I'm Duke of Ulster, and then I could go to this guy and make him say, you should be my vassal, you should submit to me, I'm your boss, you know. You are part of this land that actually belongs to me. So that's, let's say, one of our next goals, potentially, is to become Duke of Ulster. Although, to be honest, I might end up... he hasn't created the Duchy of Meath yet, although he may. He's got enough money. Duchy of Mead, I should say. Meath. Yes. He may do that first, and I may end up becoming the Duke of Mead. Yeah, there you go, he just did it. What did I say? Yeah, so I'm probably going to become the Duke of, Petty King of Mead / Duke of Meath, before that can happen. So that'll probably end up becoming my main title, because I'm trying to kill him. And duel him / duel him. I could swear fealty to him, but I'm not going to do that. I could try and take him down from the inside, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it this way. There's lots of different ways to play. Alright, who else can I bring to my side? I've got one guy who hates him enough. Is he the guy I just invited? Yeah. So these are my two goals. Kill him by whatever means necessary. See, I'm insulting him to make him my rival. Or become Duke so that I can either make this guy my vassal or take his land. One way or the other. Doesn't really matter. One way or the other. These are my goals. And once I take this land, it kind of opens up here. This whole area here. Next. Sorry. I'll have that still under your duchy mode. Actually, do I have the ability to declare war? Yeah, because the other thing I can do is start extorting tributes. In the meantime, see, now I actually have a sizable army. I can start declaring wars on people, which is useful. If the center cannot hold, the battle is over. I think I'll become a central leader because that's where I'm currently sitting. I'm just going to lower my army for a sec. Doop. Now, how big is your army? Not that big. So another thing I can do is extort tributes. I can get people to start paying me money. I couldn't do this before because I didn't have enough troops to where I could declare wars on people. See, I've been raiding people nearby. You've got a small army, a very small army. Can I extort you? I'm going to extort you. Hi. See, he's too far away for me to raid, but I would like money. I'd like money, please. Money's good. To Chief Domhnall, let us resolve this conflict peacefully. In exchange for putting a stop to this war and preventing bloodshed, I shall agree to your demands. Lands of Panacta will pay tribute to you. All I ask is that you promise safety for me, for my people, and send your soldiers home. You know what? I will not accept. I want prestige. I want to wage war. Stephanos is now Irish. I'm just going to let my armies merge. I'm going to crush him. I want the prestige. And I want the money as well. I can afford it. Prestige is good. And once he pays tribute to me... Oh, I don't care. By all means ruin my reputation. If he hates me, I can duel him. There you are. I've been looking for a fight. Sure. I walk away victorious. Anyway, as I was saying, once he becomes my tributary, he can join my wars, almost as if he were my vassal, which means he can assist me in making this guy up here my tributary as well. No, my uncle died. I don't care. Visiting the monastery at which my order has convened, I joined my fellow lay members in dutifully performing all tasks required of us. In the evening after our day's work, the abbot... Oh, this is fun. The abbot gathers all of the visiting lay members and reveals the monastery's great treasure, a relic that has been safe-custodied, guarded here for many generations. The crown of thorns of Jesus. I'm going to plot to steal that because I want to be ambitious. Look, I'm not going to become a saint with this character. I really don't care. I'm going to try and steal Jesus' crown of thorns. I'm going to accept this mission to go on a pilgrimage, but I'm not going to waste going on it right this second. Oh, sure. By all means, forgive me for killing my family. I don't really care. Grab it and run, or bribe the abbot? Grab it and run. I can afford to live dangerously. I'm fine. I'm starting to think... Ooh. Sure, why not? Technology. It's good to be the chief. Yeah. Shipbuilding. Leave no witnesses. Yeah. I don't care. I'll take it. Crown of Thorns. Check that out. Check that out. That's in my treasury forever. Sometimes you gotta play. Big money, no whammies. I mean, it's probably just like some twine branches some people took off a tree. There we go. I'm now playing as my son, so it doesn't matter. Chief Domhnall has given up the ghost at age 44. He died a mangled mess, having been mangled in a terrible accident. Domhnall spent his last years barely able to walk. Death has finally freed his soul from his crippled body. Chief Habitak, merely 14 years old, the realm is left in the capable hands of the Regent and Council. Long live the Chief. Ah. Look, by all means. Alright. Gotta reset all my courtiers here. You are fabricating a claim. You are studying technology. This is the character I'm going to go for sainthood with. So ideally, I don't particularly want to get caught trying to murder people. I would like to try and be a good boy. I suppose it could be worth something one day. Otherwise, they would have thrown out artifacts. I don't want him to do that. Now, once again, I'm going to declare war and make this guy my tribute. Oh no, the council doesn't want me to. Oh no, they don't want me to do that. That's fine. I won't be young for very long. Who's my educator? You are. Yeah, this is the only problem when you're a young lad. The decisions are not entirely within your hands. They're up to your council because you are young boy. Young boy, no trust with decisions. It's all good though. I won't be young for very long. Hey, Stephanos is now Catholic. I'm wondering if I now have better options to marry. Let me have a look. I could marry a genius, but she's very young. She's a member of a bloodline, though. Hold on. She's a member of a bloodline, but I won't inherit the bloodline. Hang on. She should marry someone, but she should marry... There you go. How about that? Who should I be marrying? Oh, I'm shy. I'm a shy boy. I'm DJ Shy Boy. I will marry the genius. I know that I won't be seeing her for a while, but you know what? I'll take it. I can wait. Can I hold a feast? No, I'm not prestigious enough, unfortunately. Now, this is the character I'm going to go for sainthood with. So even though he's going to be very intriguey, don't you even start to worry. Just gotta wait for him. Okay, a daughter was born to my cousin, I think he is. By all means. I don't really care what you do. Be conscientious, I guess. 9 plots. As long as you're not trying to kill me, I'm good. Just one more year. Just one more year and I become adult. Big strong boy. What about you? Will they let me declare war on you? No. Will they let me declare war on you? No. They won't let me have any fun. Why you no like me? Can I make you like me, please? You just wait. You just wait. Wait till I'm a full-grown man and no one can tell me what to do. I think my learning's very high as this character, so I probably won't be a Benedictine monk. Depending on my final stats, I'll probably be a Dominican monk. It's basically the same thing, it's just a different flavor. It's learning flavored rather than stewardship flavored. It's nearly time. Nearly time. Can't afford to be a dick yet. It's coming. It's coming. I wonder if she's actually secretly my sister because of the affair that my father had. Actually, speaking of which, I wonder if I should marry off my family members. Yes, marry the bloodline into the family. Let's do that. Let's maybe start doing that. Why not? May you live in harmony and contentment. Yes, good, good, good. He's accepted that betrothal. It's nearly time. I'm nearly an adult. Nearly time. Just gotta get that a little bit further. And then no one can tell me what to do. No one can tell me not to fight what wars I want to fight. And assign some more roles if that helps. People like me more. Yes, come on. 1st of January. Yes, here we go. Yes. I'm a brilliant, brilliant spy master. I pull the strings. Alright. Now. Okay. I'm going to join the Dominican Order. Sprayed on it. Pick a character focus. They should get married. Now, now then, now then now. I should probably... First good goal would be to make a friend, because I'll probably do that in the Dominican Order. Now, what should my goal be? The thing is, I have absolutely terrible stewardship. Like, really bad. Really, really, really bad. Like, shockingly bad. I should plot to kill you. Hi, join my plot. Dueling is good because then I can duel. I can always improve my stewardship later. But then I'll go to theology later, actually. Man, my stewardship's so bad. That's unfortunate. I'll go with duel. Okay. Unyielding. Good. My stewardship will go up when she comes of age and marries me, which will unfortunately take a while. But it's fine. It's not going to be the end of the world if my domain size goes over. It just means I get like a slight penalty. Oh, there we go, I made a friend. That didn't take long. I trained with someone. Become king of Ireland, see the realm prosper, build a war chest, groom an heir. Build a war chest? Build a war chest. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. No one can tell me not to go to war now that I'm an adult. Let's see, who can I persuade to join me? Is there anyone who doesn't like this man? If anyone does not like this man, declare it now. Nope, unfortunately used to be popular. Technology keeps improving. Good, good, good. Alright, what else can I do? I can revoke titles. See, that happens when you improve legalism, you get more options of what laws you can set. Oh, got someone else to assimilate to Irishness. There we go. crush that army. Yeah, there we go. Oh yes, another learned Jewish man has appeared at my court. Indeed. Is he better than my current steward? He is. Welcome, brother. Please continue to produce good chancellors and stewards. We've got really good stats. Okay, there we go. I'm 89% of the way there. If I can just get this last bit. Come on. Come on. Yes, by all means, walk into my perfectly laid trap. You fools. There we go. 100%. So this guy is going to start paying tribute to me. And it basically, for the purposes of wars, he almost kind of acts like a vassal. I can call him in to support me in wars. So this other guy, who I also want to go and make pay tribute to me, I can call him in to that war. There he goes. That's him. There you go. Now you won't send his full army because he's not my complete tribal vassal, but certainly better than nothing. I will gladly take any troops he can offer. By all means. Reinforcements are reinforcements. There we go. They want me to go on pilgrimage? Sure, why not? I'm currently a commander though, so after that. There you go, he's joined the Irish assimilation program. I don't think I want to attack him by water. I think I want to attack by land. There we go. Yeah, this is fine. I just didn't want to attack by water. If I attack him in my home country, I'm perfectly fine with that. That works for me. By all means. Works very well for me. Actually, let's make sure I've got good commanders set up here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. focus on Lightfoot. Crusader Kings isn't the most strategic game when it comes to like using battle tactics, but it's also not completely absent of it either. You can win and lose wars depending upon where you, and how you choose to fight. You don't need to worry about it too much. Generally speaking, the bigger army wins, but that's certainly not all there is to it. Commander traits do matter, terrain does matter. Often the bigger army wins. You do need to be careful about things like attacking over water and what terrain you're attacking on. Generally speaking, the bigger army will win. I'm gonna siege this down before I go and attack him for invading my territory. Hey. Don't siege me down. It's alright. I'm not worried, I'll win that back very quickly. I'm gonna win this pretty decisively, I think. Yeah, see, they only live a very small holding force, so I can siege this down immediately. As I describe the plan for our movement across the hills, my officers listen intently before running back to their units to pass on the instructions. Morale has been good lately, conflicts are non-existent within our regiment, and we're becoming famous for our attention to detail. I can either say good leadership requires trust and gain one marshal, or no, I'll take humble. That's good for my goal of what you say, becoming saint with this character. Irish assimilation program in full effect. Alright. Let's continue sieging down this territory. Ah yes, I mentioned at the very beginning of this stream that you can have a bishopric at a county level. This is that. The main holding is a church, not a tribe or a castle. That's that. Ah yes, there we go, more technology. Feed me with technology. I'm trying to save up money, but by all means I will spend prestige. I will satisfy my hunger with bread and water. I'm trying to become a saint. Come on. Siege down. Siege down. Come on. I believe in you. You can do it. Just a little more. Just a little more. Yes. I'm just gonna reset my counselor here just in case he's been bribed. Am I not antagonizing him? I thought I was antagonizing King Flan. Probably quicker if I just deflate him. I'm going for sainthood. I'm gonna say it's not appropriate. I captured a prisoner. Does anyone care about him, though? The answer's no. Pretty decent, though. I would take him on if they would let me recruit him. There we go. Victory is mine. There we go. I now have 2 countries paying tribute to me. Go into hiding. People trying to kill me? Oh, you are. Don't do that. I'm gonna go on a pilgrimage. I shall go on a pilgrimage to seek God's grace at one of the holy places of Christianity. I will start making travel plans. There are a number of different holy places that you could visit on a pilgrimage, all of them are considered most sacred by the Holy Church, but somewhat closer destination might mean a safer journey. In my experience, it actually doesn't make a difference. I'll seek out a saintly burial site. Why not? Oh, good, he's not going to try and kill me. I will travel to see the supposed grave of St. Patrick of Ireland. There have been many inspirational saints, and it is difficult to come to an agreement about where to go, but my advisors finally narrow it down to a couple of choices. Potential options. All 4 of them are good choices, but when it comes down to making a decision, St. Patrick. It's your boy, Sunny P. Just gonna keep building buildings. When you upgrade a tribal holding, which is a thing that you can do later, all these buildings that you spend prestige on, provided that you get them, actually all the buildings that you spend anything on, provided you get them to a multiple of 2, they will upgrade. So, provided that any building is a multiple of 2, it'll carry over. So yes, by all means, continue to upgrade your holdings tribal. Just get them to multiples of 2, and that won't be a waste. Are we going to turn to the battlefield? I still don't feel at home. My body's here, but my mind is still in Noid. Sometimes I wonder if I died there and this is all a nightmare. Sometimes I cannot breathe. I need to feel alive again. Enough of these feelings. By God, I'll punch someone. These traits will go away in time, so that's why I took them. I'm suddenly met by a couple of rough, losing-looking fellows. I'm gonna fight them, because I'm a big, strong boy. It's getting progressively colder, so I'm getting closer to my own destination by my own estimates. I should be halfway to Rathkelter by now. I'm not used to long hikes like these, but it's been a nice change of pace. I wonder what awaits in Rathkelter. I come across a group of caravans filled with the laughter and joy of a group of travelling entertainers. As day turns to night, I enjoy the company of the group. A particularly beautiful woman is teasing me and invites me to stay the night. Huh, what kind of man do you think I am? I'm gonna be a saint. All of a sudden, I find myself in Rathkelter before I know it. It has been a long journey through the wilds, and to once more see people is a nice change. As I walk through the city streets, I compare it to my homeland. Um, 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 Sir, you're pretty smart. Apparently, you can't distinguish island from island. Anyway, how the people have dealt with the cold and ice in these lands. You're from Northern Ireland. I should find my way to the burial site of St. Patrick as quickly as possible. That is what I'm here for, after all. I wonder what the grave will look like. I received a letter from my fellow member of the Dominican Order, Duke Peter. Dear brother Flabertac, blah 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 blah. Will you, as the Christian scholar that you are, please offer me some advice on my poetry, or the attempt of it? Reading through the attached documents, there are multiple verses, all in honor of God. I'm missing some of the more comforting aspects of faith. It doesn't really matter what you answer. The whole area is empty besides a nun cleaning a corner of a small chapel. She approaches me and asks if I am here to see the grave of St. Patrick. I give here paradox. Paradox. Hello. A small nod before she brings me to the large rock where he presumably lies. Lies. Paradox. Paradox. She kneels down next to me and we take a moment to pray to God together. And then I am left alone with the grave. What a journey it's been. If you want to become a saint, this is part of the playthrough I'm doing. I'm trying to become a saint now. I believe you need to, as a count, get at least 750 piety, but like aim for at least 1,000 anyway. The more you get, the better. I was beginning to think that Duke Peter took offence to my comments, but today I've received a new draft of his work. I'm surprised to find that his words really speak to me. Scribbled in the march, and I can just make out, implore you, brother, bear with me, it's not finished nonsense. This is brilliant work, and the Order needs to see it. I think the Dominican Order will treasure these words. If I were to put these poems out in my own name, I think the Dominican Order will treasure these words. That'll give me a little boost to piety. I'm trying to save gold, I'm trying to build piety, and I'm not trying to be deceitful. I'm actually trying to lose this trait, which I will gradually do over time. In order to become a saint, you need high piety, you need no sins. This is a sin. Actually, this is a good time to talk about it. What are these traits? So this is your education trait. This is a 4-star education. This is a commander trait, which I've gotten through having my focus on war. This is also a commander trait. This is me being on a pilgrimage. This is a personality trait. This is paranoid. This is also a personality trait. This is gregarious. This is also a personality trait. Deceitful. This is a negative trait. I think I can't have this. I may not be able to have paranoid either if I want to become a saint. Maybe I can have paranoid. This is a virtue, and you'll see here it has a number next to it. This is one of the 7 virtues that exist in the game. And this here, this is a vice. This is one of the 7 deadly sins. This is wrath. So here, this is another one of the 7 virtues. So the 7 virtues are like the opposite of the 7 deadly sins. So the first deadly sin is lust. So the opposite of that is chastity. And this here is a health trait. This is stressed. So these are what traits are. And these can be set by, for example, your education when you're a child, but you also get them naturally throughout the game by just randomly through events. And there's also some set events. These are some other things that have happened throughout. These are like modifiers. So there's traits and there's modifiers. Modifiers generally like happen throughout the course of the game. So my family owes 350 gold to Jewish moneylenders. That was the very first thing that I did in the game, like the first action that I took, other than like setting these sorts of things. I'm popular because I made a friend. That was one of my ambitions. I've got duel experience. I've got battlefield experience. I repelled some bandits when I was on pilgrimage, and I've just helped that guy out with his poetry. So those are my modifiers. These happen all the time. They're not traits. They're just things that happen. So like if you become a known murderer, that's a trait. Oh, here we go. I've got some more technology. Let's be more tolerant. Let's improve religious customs and noble customs. I'm flattered that you think the Dominican could benefit from my work. Duke Peter of Fewley writes in his letter, "Thank you for your support, brother." He continues before assuring me of the finishing touches he intends to see before the final version of the manuscript will enter the library. I'm honoured to be surrounded by like minds. We're becoming friends. Oh no, my incompetent steward has let smugglers into the county of Tir Chanel. Apparently, he thought they were merchants. What a fool. That's not good. Daughter has been bored to arcade. Become conscientious. Okay. Now, so that's, speaking of modifiers, you also have modifiers on counties. So this is that option I got in the battlefield. It's making my forces replenish quicker, which is good, I think. But I also have that smuggler's ring, which isn't good. That just popped up there. So land can have modifiers and people can have modifiers. So my garrison is reinforcing. Rumor has it my courtier has been influenced. He's now becoming Irish. Nice. There we go. It has been a long journey, but I finally start recognizing my homeland once more. Yes, he's made the very difficult journey from Ireland to Ireland. Anyway, the woods, the streets, and the people are all familiar. I start smiling to myself. It is nice to be home. Just one more street and I'm there. So I'm going to get in the trait Pilgrim. It'll give me piety and it'll make people from my faith like me more. There you go. My regency's over. And I've completed my mission that my society gave me. So that improved my devotion by 300. So that's good. I'm now becoming more pious, and this is helping everyone like me more, and it's getting me closer and closer to sainthood. Now I'm trying not to spend money because my goal is to build a war chest at the moment. But in any event, speaking of which, I can start raiding, I think, or I can once my troops go up. Maybe it would be a good idea. Oh no. Oh no. The marshal's forfeited his office. Now this happened last time. Yay! I'm gonna seize his money because I'm trying to build my war chest. Will you come back? No, you won't come back. Okay. I was going to say maybe it's a good idea to set them to train troops so that I can replenish my armed forces a bit quicker, because they seem to be being pretty slow at the moment. Yeah, hopefully we can start replenishing pretty quickly, and then I can start raiding. And then I'll earn money, and then, yes, there we go. There we go. Now my army's going up. Then once I hit that 300 mark, I'll have built a war chest, and then I can change my ambition. My goal is still to get rid of this family member. He actually has vassals, interestingly. I suppose not that interestingly. Assimilate to Irish. There you go. A small spear throwing competition could be entertaining. It's also a great way to enliven your battle technique. Maybe you should arrange a contest at your court. My throwing arm will amaze everyone. Everyone attending the spear throwing competition seems to be having a great time. They are partaking in the contest, conversing and laughing together. Perhaps the merriment is a bit too much as the spear, carelessly hurled into the field, is almost still out there, measuring the distance of the previous throw. Oh, that happened at the Sydney Olympics. I remember that, when that happened. Hello. Apparently, people are starting to like him less. My ability to take down any band abroad is widely renowned. Game. Many speak of your prowess and how unwise it would be to pick a fight with me. My prestige is going up. Nice. Have I got enough people to raid? Yeah, probably. I think I've got enough to raid Brefn, whatever it's called. Brefni. King Flan barely conceals his blasphemous lack of faith in God. Such a person should not be allowed to live in any proper society. He should be shunned and condemned for his heathen ways. He's a most disgraceful king. Just as expected, King Flan is furious. The rumours I've spread about him have really gotten under his skin. After all, how could he deny any of them in good faith? Ah, perfect. He's angered. But does he hate me enough to want to fight me? Certainly hope so. I do want to, at some point, move this over to a theology focus so I can focus on becoming a saint and get rid of all these bad traits. Because that's the goal. Start becoming good boy. Become good saint. Rumor has it that my courtier, yes, she's now part of the Irish assimilation program. Good. Everything's coming up. Everything's coming up, Millhouse. Oh, I wonder if I can. I could. No. But even so, I don't think I'd want to spend the piety if my goal is to become saint. Hang on to the piety. It does accrue very slowly. It's probably the slowest thing to accrue. Well, actually, my prestige is accruing very slowly, it looks like. It's actually, my piety is accruing much faster at the moment. Normally prestige, I would say, accrues faster. Interestingly. Yeah, that's being very slow. But you get prestige through other things, like through events and the like. Oh, I can burn an apostate. Yeah, you're past having kids now. I saved you before. Now you die. And you can remarry. Oh, you can marry a Carling. By all means. By all means, marry a Carling. I mean, he won't get the bloodline because this is not a matrilineal marriage. This is a regular patrilineal marriage. If you want to inherit a bloodline from a female character, you have to marry matrilineally. So if you're going for the achievement to get 5 bloodlines on a single character, yeah, you have to do it that way. Yes, please give me gold. I'm going for building a war chest. So, by all means, give me gold. Oh, shit, he died. What the heck just happened here? Oh. Oh, something weird just happened. Something weird has happened. I see what's happened here. he died, and now she's taken over, his daughter's taken over, and now the mother is the heir for some reason. Okay, I still need to fabricate a claim though. If I can request a claim, yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna take it over that way, rather than doing what I've been doing. It's all good. This doesn't screw me up. I do need to work on my army though, but I have got people backing me up. How many people can I call to me from my allies? From my tributaries. I'm gonna make you my tributary as well while I'm at it. This is all well and good. There's a lot of ways to skin an egg in Crusader Kings too. Here we go, technology. Make him disappear. Damn. So yes, that did cost me piety, but it's worth it. I can't risk this becoming part of Italy. I just cannot risk this becoming part of Italy. Or Lombardy as it's currently called. Just do some quick raiding. Get you to become my tribute. See if I can get more allies to support me in this. She has got a decent sized army. I mean, I know I'm replenishing my troops here. If I get my max together with my allies, I can take her pretty easily. No, it's all happening. Man, unexpected things can happen. How did this happen? Unexpected things do happen in Crusader Kings too. You just gotta be prepared for it. You gotta adapt. I've seen like this has like become like part of France. Gotta watch out for that sometimes. But it's all good. Nothing will ever be game ruining. I'm nearly at my 300 gold. And if I have 300 gold as well, then you can purchase mercenaries, so that can certainly help with my attempt to take over Petty Kingdom of Meath. So that certainly won't hurt. Oh, she's actually off fighting someone else. This could work out very well for me. She's fighting someone else. I mean, she will come back and fight me. I'm gonna accept, I think. I'm gonna accept this mission to change my focus. I'm gonna leave it for now just because the Marshal will give a boost to my number of troops. There we go. Now what should my goal be? I do want to become a Paragon of Virtue, but should I focus on becoming King of Ireland first? I'm going to become a Paragon of Virtue because I don't actually want to become King of Ireland because that raises the requirements for becoming a saint. Right. You're going to become a tribute. And this is a good test as well because this is going to show me how many troops everyone is bringing to the party when I call on them. Okay, good, they're bringing quite a large number of troops. Yes, he is bringing a large number of troops. Very good. Very good indeed. Okay. Yes, very good. I think this is doable. Especially since she is off fighting somewhere down here. I think this is doable. Allele. Thrift? Sure. Why not? Irish assimilation program is in full effect. I'm gonna compose a book. Just while I'm at it. Complexities of war, something in regard, something educational. Diplomacy or intrigue? Sure. Okay, yeah, if I have an army this size, I think I can definitely take... Yep. Yep, this is gonna work. Life isn't too bad. Okay, I'm no longer stressed, that's good. I'm happy. There we go. I have another person joining my coalition. Good. Good. Alright, let's go. Let's do it. Is she still at war? No, she's no longer still at war. Oof. Should I wait to replenish my army a little bit? Yeah, I could wait to replenish my army a little bit. I'm gonna buy indulgence for my sins while I've got the dosh. Glory to God. Yes, come on. Yes. Won't take too long. Won't take too long. She's got retinues as well. I don't worry about retinues at this early stage of the game. They're probably maybe a little bit advanced to be covered in this early video if we're treating this as like a beginner's walkthrough. Um, I could do a retinue. Yeah, I could do that while I'm waiting for my army to replenish. Pretty expensive. Just so you know, like what we're talking about here, a retinue is you basically pay for a company with a specific makeup that just sort of stands there. It does cost money to create, and it just sort of sits there costing money, but it's always there. And it can be very useful to always have troops there, but you know. I think I've probably got enough troops to where I don't need to spend the money. I'm gonna throw a feast while I wait for my troops to replenish. Because also, I'm not just waiting for my troops to replenish, I'm waiting for my allies' troops to replenish. I'll hunt the boars myself. I'll increase my martial. Why not? I'll spend lavishly on food. People never want to come to my feasts. Guests have finally arrived. All is ready. The cooks have worked day and night preparing the food, and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome to my feast. Ah, brilliant performance. So prestigious. Yep. Hey, this is passing time. My troops. There we go. Alright. It's now probably a very good time to declare war. I'm gonna claim Mead. I'm gonna call all my allies. Probably gonna start back here. Actually, no, I could start here. Because I don't necessarily want her to attack me with a giant force. I don't know what that plot's about. Don't necessarily want to be in on it. Didn't necessarily want that to happen. I can also invite mercenaries. Hire some mercenaries to be involved. Mercenaries are also a good go if you're not confident in your abilities. There we go. I'm gonna send the mercenaries in. Let's do it. I don't even think I needed the mercenaries. I did it just to be safe. You know what? Why not? I am gonna disband the mercenaries, why not? I did it just to be safe. I had the money. I figured why not use it? Didn't want to risk losing. There we go. The Irish assimilation program still going ahead nice and strong. I'm just gonna crush her army. I'm not gonna give her time to regain any strength. Oh no. Oh no, what's happened? She's now Queen of Italy. Uh, it's fine. I'm still claiming Meath. It's fine. It's fine. These things happen. I'm waging war on all of Italy. A priest has arrived and asked for an audience. After being shown in, he explains that his small church can no longer protect the holy relic it holds due to robbers plaguing the countryside. He therefore asks for my family to keep it. I have a finger of St. John. Great. I am going to change myself from war focus to theology focus. Bible should be my foremost companion. Oh, Jesus. These things happen when you play Crusader Kings. Oh yes, I'm becoming a better Christian. Good. My path to sainthood is on its way. Yeah, go for piety. I'm not going to become sympathetic to other religions. I mean, I'm going to treat other religions still sympathetically, but to an extent. Oh god, people are making claims on me. I think she can still have children. I'd like her to stay here if she can. Speaking of, I should probably see if I can marry some people off. Um, hmm. Maybe not right this second. I've died. That happened. uh, well, so much for that. Oh god. No. Bad times. Ugh, bad times. That didn't work at all. Oh well. Oh well, I certainly tried. Oh well, this is the end of this run. This is a good place to call it quits. I'll. You gotta be careful with what you do. I'll save that and end that here. Maybe I'll do another one of these. Oh, thanks for watching.